Tracking our next major winter storm with the impacts including flood concerns and heavy mountain snow. I'm ABC 10 Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods, and after a little break here, we're right back at it with our weather impact alert on Thursday, including periods of heavy rain and snow, thunderstorms and gusty winds. So we're getting ready to be storm ready, including the impacts of flooding and mountain snow. I'll look at that satellite and radar, and you can see the big plume of moisture off the coast. Now, the leading edge of this is actually going to slide its way southward into parts of Southern California. So it's kind of interesting how the trajectory is appearing that it's going to hit Northern California, and then it just kind of slides its way southward. We're going to have extended weather coverage on this on ABC 10 Plus. You want to make sure you download that on TV. With the extended forecast, we've got explainers on there, as well as our weather and climate specials, all on our weather playlist on ABC 10 Plus. All right, let's dig into it here. Our wind advisory goes into effect on Wednesday night. That's going to last through Friday morning. Wind gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. Tree limbs down. The potential for some localized power outages. That will continue throughout the Sacramento Valley and as well as parts of the northern San Joaquin Valley, the Carquinez Strait, through the Delta area through our Friday morning, with the biggest wind gusts through our Thursday. Now, our winter storm warning also going into effect Wednesday evening, but that's actually going to last through Friday evening with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, near whiteout conditions, chain controls, road closures possible with the heaviest snow on Thursday, but it will continue with lingering impacts into our Friday. Here's a look at that rain coming in from the coast, but again, it is going to pull its way southward through Southern California initially through our Wednesday forecast. But the back edge of this is the real powerful impacts of the storms. That's going to deliver the heaviest rain and snow for Thursday, as well as the gusty winds. Let's talk about the flash flood potential. You can see it's going to be present here throughout Northern California and Central California in that slight risk zone. But once we head into Southern California, that's where we get into the moderate risk of flash flood potential for our Thursday, with a flash flood watch in effect for Thursday through early Friday. Heavy rain is going to result in the risk of debris flows, especially around the burn scars that we had, those devastating fires in January. So again, with the heavy rain coming in, we're going to continue to watch that, especially right along the coast here as that rain continues to fall through our Wednesday and Thursday. Taking it back up to Northern California, flood watch in effect starting off late Wednesday through Friday. Heavy rainfall, especially through the foothills and parts of the Sierra, will result in runoff with flooding occurring on the rivers. Now, I want to make it clear, not major flooding on the rivers. It's just going to be that we're already seeing those weirs open. Those are those free-flowing gates around the upper Sacramento River that put water into bypasses. So it kind of takes the pressure off of bringing all that water downstream into major metropolitan areas. So those weirs flowing into the Sutter and Yolo bypasses, those will continue to see rises. Now, the smaller bodies of water, including creeks and streams, or even the major areas that we always see in low-lying areas that flood, they're going to be vulnerable to seeing some rises as well. Here's a look at some of those areas that are still seeing the flood warnings. Again, I talk about the weirs. So the upper Sacramento River right through the Yolo bypass. Still use caution around rivers. They're flowing high. They're flowing fast. So if you're on perhaps the bike trail, just be aware the water is very close to the top of that. It's just moving freely into the Delta as it's designed to do. But with the additional water coming in, they're going to be even higher than what we've been seeing. Here's a look at the futurecast for our Wednesday. We're primarily just cloudy, some showers over towards the coast here, but largely we're going to see those trying to slide their way southward. Now, as the day goes on Wednesday, you can see how this changes dramatically overnight Wednesday through early Thursday. Right about midnight, that rain coming down heavy at times with some heavy rain across the coast and snow as well for the Sierra. We had a very cold air mass in place. That's going to put that snow line at about 3,500 feet very early on Wednesday, but the warmer air starts to come in behind. That's why we're expecting higher rainfall totals. The warmer air can hold more moisture, so the rainfall potential goes up, but so does the snow line slightly. It's not going to be a warm storm. It's just that that snow line from 3,500 feet is going to come up to about 6,000 feet. That's still going to mean snow for the Tahoe Basin and also snow all through the duration of this event at the passes, and slow going for the high country. Here's a look at the future moisture, and you can see this is a pretty widespread event for us. Earlier on during the water year, we saw a very defined line of storms hitting Northern California, driving up those water numbers here, but keeping Southern California dangerously dry. Now, this storm cycle is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be not only hitting Northern California, but also along the central coast, all through Southern California. That's why we have that flood potential going up for Southern California, because the vulnerability, especially in the burn scars area, we just don't have much vegetation to hold the water and anything that could be a little bit slippery there. Statewide precipitation, the numbers continue to go up for Northern California. Southern California remains unseasonably dry, but those numbers will go up slightly. In Northern California, we've kind of been chipping away at the dryness, but most of that has come in February because January was critically dry, well below average, one of the driest Januaries that we've had on record. So for downtown Sacramento, we've had almost 3 inches of rain this month. That puts us 1.5 inches ahead of where we should be. For the season total, we're a little bit behind. All in all, it looks very likely that we're going to jump above normal for the water year once we get through that Thursday storm system. Wednesday, we'll see some spotty showers here and there, mostly through the San Joaquin Valley. But overnight is when we see the widespread rain and snow developing. And as I showed you, Thursday is going to be a major impact day for us with valley rain and thunderstorms, heavy Sierra snow, and windy conditions as well. Just one of those days you just don't want to have to go to work at school because it's going to be pretty nasty out there. Friday, scattered showers, but those Sierra snow impacts will linger. Over the weekend, we're going to have a mixed bag of rain and snow in there for the 3-day weekend, in fact, for President's Day. Storm highlights on Thursday: valley rain, 1 to 3 inches of accumulated rain, 2 to 5 feet of Sierra snow. Severe weather will be tracking a chance for thunderstorms, wind gusts 35 to 50 miles per hour down low. But again, at the passes, we'll see that 60 mile per hour plus wind gusts in the forecast. Snow level will be starting around 3,500 feet, and then it goes up to about 6,000. Severe weather outlook, this kind of shades the potential area. It will mainly be on the west side of the state to Monterey, all the way up north of Fort Bragg along the northwest coast there near Eureka. So the Sacramento Valley, the northern San Joaquin Valley, the Delta, the Bay Area, all will be impacted with the chance of thunderstorms coming in on Thursday. All right, let's talk about those wind gusts. This is going to make for a very difficult morning commute on Thursday as that main band of precipitation also starts to press our way. Wind gusts are looking like 45 to 50 miles per hour right in the valley, the central Sacramento Valley through the southern Sacramento Valley, the northern San Joaquin Valley really getting hit hard with this all the way to the coast and then through parts of the foothills. Now, as we make our way through the afternoon, that kind of moves its way eastward here. So we will see the big focus of energy in the Sierra during the evening hours. But again, we'll continue to watch that wind advisory all the way until at least early Friday morning when everything starts to wind down. Now, with the presence of that colder start to the storm, we'll see snow levels roughly about 3,500 to 4,000 feet late Wednesday. But the bulk of the storm heads in with snow levels closer to around 6,000 feet. That's when we'll have the main impacts coming in. Friday, we'll see some colder air working in. That'll bring that snow line back down to about 5,000 feet. And then everything winds down temporarily. But our winter storm severity index, you can see it's going to be stretched all the way through the 80-50 corridor, the Tahoe Basin, south of Highway 50 through 88, 89, Highway 4, 120, all the way through the Central Sierra, Mammoth, Yosemite getting particularly hard hit. We've got some really high passes there. Most of them, by the way, are closed right now for this time of year. But anything going up into those areas is going to be very difficult travel for our Thursday and Friday forecast. And this is what I'm talking about, those model snowfall numbers coming in at about 5 inches of snow for Pollock Pines. The only thing is it is going to be a mixed bag of precipitation there. So just be aware, starting off with snow, turning over to rain. So that's more of a liquid ratio of what we're seeing. But Donner Pass as well as South Lake Tahoe, it's all a snow event. Twin Bridges very close to Echo Summit at about 38 inches of snow. So some of those higher peaks getting upwards of about 5 feet of snow. As far as model rainfall totals, anywhere from 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. Kind of nice to see this for Modesto and Manteca, as well as Tracy and Stockton. We've been largely dodging the big bulk of the rain coming in this water year. Nice to see some of those precipitation totals coming up there. And also for the mother lode, some nice rainfall totals. Sonora and Jackson, even Ione, getting upwards of 2+ inches of rain from this storm cycle. Placerville over 3 inches of rain. Auburn closer to about 3 inches. Oroville, we were really hard hit with last week's storm. Got some big numbers coming in there. So we'll look at that futurecast once again. The big bulk of the rain coming in on Thursday. Snow will pile up in the Sierra. Really, mountain travel not recommended with this end of the work week and school week storm system ahead of the 3-day weekend. It would be best to kind of delay travel into the high country. I know it's a big weekend for people that want to ski and snowboard. It's going to be great on Saturday, Sunday kind of dicey, as well as early Monday, but you'll have a lot of fresh powder to ski and snowboard this weekend. So Friday, late afternoon, early evening, things are starting to wind down. We still got some lingering impacts through early Friday evening. The valley is starting to dry out for Valentine's Day, but the Sierra kind of dicey until we get into our Saturday forecast. So things are actually looking pretty good here for our Saturday. Storm track will start to press its way northward. So here's the catch with Sunday's storm that starts to move our way. It's going to be a warmer one for us. We very likely are going to get a few more rain showers at the Tahoe Basin than, say, snow. So it's very likely Monday won't be quite as dangerous traveling back on the heels of that 3-day weekend. A likely warmer setup in store for the middle and end of February. So we get through this storm cycle here for the end of the week into the beginning of the end of the weekend. And then we're also looking at a drier outlook, at least for the 8 to 14-day climate outlook. Nice to get this bulk of precipitation, though, in and then dry out a little bit on the back edge of this. Gives some time for those rivers to recede a little bit, the creeks and streams to kind of calm, because we've had a couple of weeks here of very active weather. Highs near 40 for the Tahoe Basin for tomorrow. We start the day off, though, at about 5 to 15 degrees. Highs in the 40s throughout the foothills and 50s down low. So Auburn 53 as opposed to Pollock Pines a little bit higher up there, 46. Forest Hill at 47 degrees. Across the coast, highs are in the 50s as we take it inland throughout the Central Valley. We start the morning off in the 30s, so still pretty cold for this time of year. Highs will be about 5 to 10 degrees below average, but then we're going to change things around pretty rapidly here next week. We'll see on and off snow showers for that 5-day regional forecast in the mountains, on and off rain showers for the foothills and for the coast, on and off rain showers as well as we head into at least our 3-day weekend. After that, things are going to dry out here, but our weather impact alert day will be intact on Thursday with a chance of rain, thunderstorms, gusty winds, and Sierra snow. Drying out for Valentine's Day. There's that tail end of the 3-day weekend. Rain on Sunday, lingering through early Monday. But you can see those temperatures are much, much warmer here on Monday with highs in the valley in the low 60s. And then we're approaching near 70 by the middle and end of the next week.